New York is a state which holds a lot of historical significance in the United States. But what many people outside of New York might not realise is that there are supposedly millions of haunted homes and buildings there. One of the most popular and feared haunted houses in the state is the Amityville House. Rather than just having rumours of tragedy about it, the Amityville House was the site of numerous actual tragedies which took place all throughout the property. The address of the Amityville House is 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, New York. It still gets visited by curious tourists and reporters even to this day. The main reason for their curiosity starts with the gruesome killings which occurred at the home back on November the 14th, 1974. But that's not the only thing which motivates people to visit the house. A couple by the name of George Lutz and Kathy Lutz purchased the Amityville House and moved into it just over a year after the killings took place. To them, it was a beautiful home in a high-end neighbourhood, which they purchased at a very good price. However, it didn't turn out to be so wonderful in the end. Today, let's delve deeper into the history and stories behind this haunted house with these 6 unexplained Amityville House mysteries and hauntings. Number 6. The Beginning. Our story begins on a cold November night at a local Amityville pub named Henry's Bar, which was just blocks away from the now infamous Amityville House. At around 6:30 p.m, a man by the name of Ronald DeFeo Jr. swung open the door shouting, "Please, you've got to help me. I think my mother and father are shot." Startling the guest, the young man fell to his knees and started weeping. DeFeo and a small group of people then went to the man's house, where they discovered the bodies of 6 DeFeo's family members. The victims were Ronald Jr.'s parents, Ronald DeFeo Sr. and Louise DeFeo, and his 4 siblings, Dawn, Allison, Mark and John Matthew. The victims had been shot and were all lying on their stomachs in their beds. The DeFeo family had lived in the Amityville House since 1965. Suspicious, the police took Ronald DeFeo Jr. into custody and questioned him. They soon uncovered inconsistencies in his version of events, and the following day, Ronald DeFeo Jr. confessed to murdering his family. He said, "Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast." On November the 21st, 1975, DeFeo was found guilty of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 6 concurrent sentences of 25 years to life. Many people believe that this grisly crime was the catalyst of the Amityville hauntings, as the emotional turmoil of the incident would have been immense and would certainly have left a psychic footprint leading to the hauntings. The question asked is, what possessed Ronald DeFeo Jr. to suddenly murder his family? Did something evil suddenly possess him to carry out this hideous deed? Number 5. The Amityville House purchase. In 1975, George and Kathy were searching for a new home in New York. This was going to be their dream home, which they would raise their 3 children in. They searched for months to find the right home, but had very little luck. They visited several houses for sale during that time, but none of them appealed to the couple. They had their own idea of what their dream home would be, and they weren't about to settle for anything less. One day, a realtor offered to show them a house in an upscale neighbourhood of Amityville. The house was 3 stories high and had gorgeous Dutch architecture. When George and Kathy walked into the home for the first time, George immediately saw a smile on Kathy's face. He could tell that she was instantly in love with the house. The realtor did remind them of the 6 murders that had taken place there in 1974. The couple became more interested in the home, despite not knowing the details of the DeFeo murders. After the realtor filled them in on the details, the couple remained interested. The locals believed the house had an aura of evil surrounding it. However, there were no claims about the house being haunted at that point. Therefore, the Lutz family made the decision to purchase the home, despite its past. Number 4. The Catholic priest's blessing. It had only been 30 months since the 6 members of the DeFeo family were murdered at the Amityville house. Now the Lutz family were preparing to move there and start their dream life at the house. George had a friend who suggested that he get a Catholic priest to bless the house first. George took that advice and sought the services of Father Mancuso. On the very day that the Lutz family moved into the Amityville house, the priest arrived to give the blessing. The idea was for the priest to go to the bedroom where the murders took place and give his blessing there. When he entered this bedroom in the home, the priest supposedly heard a man's voice shout the words, "Get out!" The priest never told the Lutz family about this experience, but he did warn them against having anybody sleep in that room. Too bad that Father Mancuso's blessing and advice did not pay off, because the Lutz family reportedly went on to experience a powerful evil entity in that home. Number 3. The mystery. It didn't take long for the Lutz family to start noticing strange things happening in the home after they moved into it. The first strange experience for the family was having overwhelming feelings of unpleasantness and ominousness. Soon the personalities and attitudes of everyone in the family began to change in a bad way. The children, who were always well behaved and disciplined, were now acting out and misbehaving. George and Kathy had never inflicted corporal punishment on their kids before and were considered good parents by everyone who knew the family. However, as the kids were acting up and fighting constantly, George and Kathy reportedly started to hit their children repeatedly with a large wooden spoon. Sometimes they would use a heavy strap too. This was just the beginning of the strange things that went on in this house. Aside from the negative personalities of the family members, strange smells were forming throughout the home. According to the family, some of the smells resembled some kind of bad perfume, while others resembled a feces-like smell. Shortly after this, their toilet had strange unexplainable stains on it. When they tried to remove the stains, they could not get them off. On the walls, they reportedly saw slime, which could not be explained. There was just so much mystery going on at this point, which had no explanation. Once other people heard about the problem that the Lutz family reportedly experiencing in the home, they theorized that the spirits of the murdered DeFeo family members were causing them. This led to the Amityville house earning the reputation for being haunted and cursed. It is now the most famous haunted house in New York. Whether it is truly haunted or not remains a mystery. Number 2. The entities. Skeptics might be able to explain away the strange smells and the changing personalities of the family members. However, the problems in the house had begun to reach a whole new level of strangeness. Kathy Lutz claimed that she had physical encounters with the spirits in the home. Supposedly, these spirits touched Kathy on numerous occasions. When she looked around to see what was touching her, she did not see anything. As for George Lutz, he started complaining a lot about the temperature being too cold in the home. So he would constantly light up the fireplace to the point where it became an obsession. While George slept at night, he developed a habit of waking up at 3:15 a.m. each morning. Meanwhile, Father Mancuso, who had previously blessed the home, was developing unexplainable physiological and psychological problems of his own. More proof that the house may be haunted by the DeFeo family was this photo taken in 1976 by photographer Gene Campbell, just 2 years after the DeFeo murders. Many of the rolls were exposed, all showing nothing out of the ordinary, except for this one frame. Many believe this is a ghost of John Matthew DeFeo. Number 1. The Amityville Horror Book. Author Jay Anson wrote a book entitled The Amityville Horror, which depicted the experiences that the Lutz family reportedly had in the home. A lot of people think the Lutz family is lying and that they were just trying to make money off of the tragedies which had previously taken place there. The Lutz family insisted they were telling the truth about the experiences in the home. Ever since then, there has been a debate over whether the Amityville house is truly haunted or not. For the rest of their lives, the Lutz family stuck to their story and tried convincing people about the evil spirits which supposedly exist there.